weird eating ice cream. Yay, Texas Spring. Yeah. Thank you all so much for coming out to Malvern Books for another installment of the Ice Cream Social. This is a really special one because it's April, and April every year is Poetry Month, so all of our poetry is 20% off. That includes anthologies, $5 books, which will be $4 books. Yeah, if you don't leave here with a book of poetry, you're not trying very hard. And what else? Oh, tomorrow is Indie Bookstore Day. There is a bookstore crawl happening Austin-wide. We are part of it, and the entire store will be 20% off tomorrow. So if there's a fiction book on the $5 cart you want, it'll be $4 tomorrow. The other thing that's going on that's cool is we are running a survey. If you go to the front counter, we have little slips of paper that explain where you can fill the survey out. If you do fill it out, you'll be entered in to win a $50 gift card. So that's cool. We want to hear your opinions because we love y'all so much.
This is true. We do love you. It's my contribution this month.
Yeah. Enough shopkeeping. We usually start off with an open mic. So
Yay! We're so excited. Yeah, our open mics, we're really, really happy people are willing to share the work with us. So we're really excited. We see some regular names on the list as well, which is also really exciting. Our first open micer is David Jewell.
Thanks, Anar. It only took me 2 years to get to an ice cream social. It's the traffic, I know. Elephant shoe shine down the street, getting my gypsy makeup, getting ready for a treat, fire up my cigarette, help my fedora just so, gonna be some consequence, or I just don't know. Bug out in the lefty palm, Cadillac frozen like a horse with a real bad leg. Time to find the exit, get a strategy, make it up as you go along, take the zebra train. Nothing is like it was, but was it like it was when it was, or was it really sort of more like it is now than it ever was before? Kind of messed that up. You get the idea. What sort of martini should I wear to the party? What sort of hat would not get in the way? What sort of shoes should I nonchalantly stand on? Bubbling enthusiasm, heart like it will explode. What is happiness? If I had a nose like a wolf, I'd know what was going on all around me. If I had the eyes like an eagle, I could see through space. If I had the eyes of a panther, I could see in the dark while I'm down here on the ground listening to the stars sing. As slow as the ocean is the notion we've broken away from the shore of delusion, from blue-green algae to right here now. It's been a hell of a ride. How many planets and how many systems does the same thing happen again? From nothing comes something, from something comes life, then death, then life again. Speed of light, speed of life, speed of spin, spin again. Eternal recurrence coming around again. Lightning, teardrop, retro shark, Las Vegas diner after dark. Diamonds, rubies, bullets and gowns, drop from the stars, gonna take this town. A little disturbance, up on the sun, a burst of electrons like from a shotgun. Or a meteor, a little off course, smashes the earth to reboot it. Speed of light, speed of life, speed of spin, spin again. Eternal recurrence coming around again. Thermoelectric blind spot, external resistance, forced convection, time warp substitution, awareness delivery device, shock of recognition, dialing for dimensional reconfiguration. Get me off this bus. Thank you.
Thanks so much, David. I got to see you read twice this week, and that's cool. Up next, we have Caitlin Diamond.
Right. This is my first one, so hooray. It's called Valentine. The sway of seawater stomached, this rising, falling, this drowning. It is black spotted in broad daylight. It is 5 months alone now. It is Valentine's Day today. The red wraps my cut wrists. The red teases with ribbon lips against my throat. The singed edges of this picture I am holding of your owl's teeth. Last summer, and the last summer, sweating, honey, hooting, the smallest hairs on your head in my hands. Downy fluff, little razors. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the loneliness with you. Roosting inside my ribcage, whispering secrets. The oil slicks under your tongue, under your sheets, all in our bed. Our beautiful bed. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. The tripwires you set, the trap doors you, shining spotlight teeth across the room, swords in your dresser drawers, laughing, just take your armor off. But it is Valentine's Day today. The red snakes under my skirt reminds me we planted seeds in each other's skin, and I am still cutting the stems. The act of loving is beautiful in itself. The heart can't be blamed, can it? And I did love you, didn't I? Miss you. I don't want to go back. Go back. Go back.
Up next, we've got 2 more readers, and if you end up wanting to sign up, you've got the list right on that table corner over there. Up next, we have Maris Finn.
Hello. I have an excerpt from my novel that I'm working on. It's just the first part, so you don't really have to know anything. The novel is called Jantown. Cousin Angie's nose bled on the first full day. Slow and brown and snot-like. Typical Angie. Frail, Ma always said. She woke up like that, blood down to her chin. We thought she was dying, but she said she was thirsty. We agreed to let her have the first sip of water. The rest of us were able to go a full extra day without. Then 1 sip, then another in 2 days. It shouldn't have been possible, but it happened. The rusted mile markers told us this used to be a national park. Dirt sand crusted over engraved letters and symbols of leaves. Not a park ranger for miles. If we squinted real hard, we could make out the mountains in the distance, gray squiggles against the blue. If we wanted, we could retrace our steps by following the dried blood on the packed earth, but there was no reason to leave. I had this sneaking feeling that if one of us fled, it would end. Like, it would all pack up its bags and leave if the 5 of us hadn't all been together. And we weren't supposed to be together, but here we are, 5 of us instead of 2, and it just works. The sand salt did a number to our skins. Instead of smooth and girlish, it turned and cracked, thickened at the foot soles and hand heels. Even though the hairs on our faces and heads started out dark, black or brown or auburn, they lightened by the day, starting at the crowns and working its way down. My hair couldn't hold a curl if its life depended on it, and Angie's was a nest. Once a fierce bird-like creature tried landing on it, and the rest of us tackled it away, killing and devouring every inch. But there was nothing we could use to cut hair, so Angie's nest grew out while the rest of our hairs grew down. Every day we checked our bodies for new calluses, more bleached hair, smaller pupils, noting the progress aloud, miming writing it down in a notebook. Hannah's feet were the first to callus fully. We thought she was a mutant for a whole week. Then it happened to us. The calluses proved important. They let us walk for miles on hot earth without feeling it. We could walk over rocks and insects and prickly plants without a lick of pain. We were headed away, no direction in mind, just as far as we can get from where we'd been. It was us, the desert, our satchels filled with snack packs and the books. Each day we took turn reading passages out loud, turning the words over in our mouths, spitting out the hards, keeping the nices. It'd be easy enough to use the books as clothes, to weave the pages together with fingers and spit, but with nothing except for time, we figured we'd better exercise our minds instead. We were happy to let our bodies harden, but we'd rather die than have our brains turn to stone. Hannah told us that when and if we ever made it to the outside world, we shouldn't return yelping and barking like a pack of coyotes. We should be sharp. Leora read the last line of Anna Karenina. She clapped the book closed, flipped it over, and stroked the cover. Her tiny mouth tensed and twisted, her tell that she was thinking hard. The book jacket was almost completely bleached and was torn a little bit. A sprinkling of red threads showed throughout the spine, frayed and torn like tendons. Leora's fingers moved to them and gently tugged them. One of the threads came out, and she brought it up to her face between her thumb and forefinger and brushed it lightly over her dried and chapped lips, as if putting on lipstick. "I very much liked that one indeed," said Angie, trying to adopt the diction of the text. She was to Leora's right, lying on her back, her hand a visor. "Me too," I said, squeezing my eyes shut. I was on Angie's right. We didn't have to talk in order. There'd been no rule made, but we did. Whenever we finished a book, I tried to keep my eyes closed for as long as possible. One time I fell asleep after a book ended, and I dreamt I was at sea, thrashing around with a great white. I'd never been at sea, never dipped a toe in a water that wasn't my bathtub. It seemed dangerous, what with all the whales, but also refreshing. I read about mist, the spraying of ocean water. I let myself feel almost cold and then imagine I was submerged up to my belly. Once my eyes opened, the book was over and I was back here, which is why I always planned it so that I'd never have to read the last section of the book aloud, so I can get lost inside my head for just a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Maris. Our last open micer this evening is Ice Cream Social MVP, Allyson.
All right, PSA, all of you writers, go back up your poems tonight, because if you're like me, you're bad about that. I didn't lose anything. I just, when I went through to look at my phone and see what I was going to read tonight, I'm like, I haven't backed anything up since January. Better fix that. And I know my students don't back anything up, and so probably at least one of you needs a reminder too. All right, I'm going to do two short poems. Nothing exists alone. As I remove the tarp from the agave, it bites my hand, an admonishment because I have been gone all winter. I apologize, thank it for teaching me thick skin. Each day I make calls to senators that go unheard, send messages that go unread, then tend to the garden that brings me honeybees every summer. I pour a shot of tequila, sit on the back porch, wait for all I was born to witness. It is coming, I know. Today I leaned into blooms of mountain laurel, indulging in a memory of an old lover, but forgot him when I realized those blossoms were perfuming the air a month too soon. This is called Self-Portrait as Bumblebee. I wintered over in a bedroom built from a broken terracotta pot. Found it one day before the first freeze, wings weak from carrying this body heavy from gorging myself all September to survive that long sleep. My hair grew, legs, head, thorax, abdomen, thick, black, yellow. The spring equinox gives me less than a year to grow a colony from a rat's nest, to raise up new queens from nectar. No time to think about trimming down the fuzz when the drones are rising, trailing my thick legs dripping with pollen.
Really long walk from the back of the store.
It looks like such a small space, but it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, do we have anyone else that, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
Do we have anyone else that would like to sign up for the open mic? Anyone?
All right, so we'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll open it up to our featured readers. Thanks, y'all.